would have his student debts, like £20,000 worth of student debts, paid off by a unscrupulous production company on the condition that for 6 months he was sort of their puppet and would have an embedded cameraman living with him, filming him every second of the day. And every week he would get an email from the production company with a new challenge. And I was the cameraman. So basically the show was me filming mostly him, the banter between us, and the challenge that we had set him. And we would deliberately paint ourselves into corners and get ourselves into silly situations. And we did that. We did 2 episodes a week for 6 months, completely shot it ourselves, learned how to edit, learned how to do all the production. Yeah, it was insane. I loved it. But at the end of it, I needed a holiday on my own for about 10 days. I remember going to Gozo just off of Malta and just wanting to be on my own because I think I'd gone a bit crazy.
Oh my God. So who did you pitch that to?
So what we did is we were making that, and then we just kept telling people about it. And we were still writing other things when we had time. And it got us a little bit noticed by the BBC. They just had a new department online, sort of for online comedy. And we were pitching some ideas there. I think that was probably the most creative period. We came up with all these, what we thought were brilliant ideas. And it's always the idea that you're not that sure about that gets picked up, and the thing that you think is genius gets totally ignored. But one of the ideas we came up with as part of that pitching frenzy, and having had this spoof reality show as like some kind of proof to get our foot through the door that we weren't just total chancers, we pitched this very random idea, which was, imagine Henry VIII is alive and well, and has all of his sort of historical preoccupations, hatred of the Pope, huge appetite, all of those type of things. But for reasons unexplained, lives in the suburbs and is obsessed with Facebook and Twitter and all of that. So our pitch was Henry VIII shot just through his webcam, doing like flaming people on Twitter and just having, just talking at the screen, really. So we got very clever at working out formats that would be incredibly cheap to film. And how we pitched it was Mark and I would both write it, and Mark, being more the actor, would be Henry VIII. And we thought a few grand from the BBC, lovely jubbly, and that will be fun. And they came back to us and they loved the format. But they, when they invited us in, they said, we've got one small change. Would you mind, instead of Mark playing Henry VIII, if we got Brian Blessed to play Henry VIII? And I was like, well, I was never going to be in it, so I'm very happy for Brian Blessed to be in it. And my mate, to his credit, was like, well, if you're going to be replaced by anybody as Henry VIII in a comedy show, make it Brian Blessed. And we ended up writing 2 seasons. Like, they were episodes were maybe 3 or 4 minutes each, 6-8 episodes in a season. And we did one exactly in that format that I've explained to you. And then they wanted to do another format, but change it up a little bit. So we had him living in some caravan park, and it was a bit more shot. It wasn't just through the webcam. It was a slightly different format. But that was to see, even on a small scale, to see something, an idea you had, and then got to write, and then got somebody famous to be in it, and then got to be in the location where they were shooting it, and almost doing a little bit of side directing of Brian Blessed was awesome.
Wow, that is quite an experience. That's amazing.